What is up, guys? KFC back here with part 2 of our 3-Point Park recap video. I am out farming at the moment. I am going to hit this base. I'm going to see how Jewish I can be while I hit it to make sure that I don't use as many troops. Let's go ahead and drop a giant and a Valk. See if I can get all that down. We'll drop like a Valk. Drop a giant first. Get that Expo locked on. And they're just dead. Alright, never mind. Drop another Valk over here. That did not accomplish what I wanted it to. Get in there, get that elixir. Thank you. Alright, let's see what else I can do here. Another giant. Valk. No, not the builder hut. So rude. Alright, get my queen down here. Just clean up the rest of this. So I should be able to do this with just those 7 Valks and not have to expend any more resources here. As soon as that elixir goes down. Boom! And that is what you guys have to look forward to when you got 40 heroes, the old 3 giant, 8 Valkyrie raid. Alright, so part 2 of this video is to go over the 3-Point Park Town Hall 10 game and things that we could have done a little bit better. Before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and I have a builder, so I'm going to do some upgrading here. I'm going to go ahead and build this wall here. I'm going to go ahead and build this wall here. And then I'm going to go ahead and go to my clan castle, get my my 3-Point Park resources here. Bam! Got them all. And then I'm going to go ahead and build another wall there. And then I'm going to build another wall here. And then I got a spring trap. Beautiful. Thank you, 3-Point Park. Hooked me up with this spring trap. This spring trap will forever be the 3PP spring trap. So hopefully it starts springing 3 hogs, and every single time it does, I will remember you, gentlemen. Anyways, going back into it. Great war against the guys at 3-Point Park. Going to be reviewing the Town Hall 10 game. So for them, they struggled a little bit. So to get 6 2-stars, it took them 8 attacks. They 1-starred me on their first, and they 1-starred the master. The rest of them kind of got taken care of. Towards the end of the war, they did throw a couple of extra attacks at Glowtech, I think, just for 3. Yeah, so they took a second attack there. Actually, they came at me 3 times. I missed that third attack. And so ultimately, one thing that we like to look for at the Goodfellas is percentage. So for them, 65, 50, 54, 76, 66, 83. And then for us, our benchmark is usually 75% or higher is what we aim for. We got 77, 93, 67, 65, 74. So that's 65 there, and that 67 could be a little bit better, getting closer to our benchmarks to make sure that we have as much possible percentage as we can in tough wars like this. So going to go ahead and review all of the attacks that we sent in to first secure the 2-star, and then I'm going to go ahead and review the attacks that we did afterwards and some things that we could have done a little bit better. So to start off, base 6 was the one that I talked about in our last video as the one that we identified as the Town Hall 10 that we were definitely going to get tripled. 2 Inferno level 1s, everything else Town Hall 9 level. We knew that if we were going to triple a Town Hall 10, it was going to be this one. Glowtech, perfect person to send in, tons of experience in high-level wars, 3140 heroes, so obviously myself, Damasta, all Bravs even, all could have went in after him with his replay as long as he got a high percentage, given that we have higher heroes. So you're going to just see a beautiful attack here by Glowtech, doing a nice little AQ walk here. And then he's going to, as you can see, the Inferno Towers and the Arch Queen are all accessible by 1 jump. He's going to bring 2 jumps to make sure that he punches through the rest of the base here, and you'll see why here in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and create a little bit of a funnel over there. A couple of hogs go in to grab this CC pull, a golem and a loon pop out, which is ultimately going to be perfect given that there's only an arch tower currently locked onto his queen. Queen's going to take out the storage, and then she's going to turn around and deal with that golem. Double poison spell there by Glowtech to kind of slow down that balloon. That balloon's going to go down long before it ever gets to the queen, and she's going to handle that golem here in pretty short order, given that that poison spell is on him. Rage spell does go down. His queen was getting a little low on health there. Surprised that he actually needed to use it. There was only 1 arch tower in the golem, so I'm surprised that it was even needed. in go the golem portion here, Cold Blood over on the top right hand side. His queen basically at this point is never going to encounter more than one piece of point defense at a time. That Expo is not going to be in range. So he's able to know that that part of the raid is safe. In come the Valkyries here over on the right. You're going to see one jump spell here is going to lead him directly into that Inferno Tower. And then that second jump spell is going to lead him to the other Inferno Tower. Boom, there goes the jump spell right there. Drops a heal spell for those Valkyries. As soon as the Inferno Tower goes down, they're going to get a little bit of that heal spell. They're going to work their way through this Tesla farm down here. And then finally, they're going to eventually work their way up over to this Inferno Tower. King, unfortunately, took a little bit of a stroll down to the bottom right. So not the cleanest attack in the world by any stretch. Most of those Valkyries also, for some reason, got pushed to the right. Given the location of the Queen, you would have thought that they would have pushed a little bit more to the left of the Town Hall. But they eventually break their way outside the base. So despite the fact that it's not the cleanest looking attack in the world, he does still have 5 hogs in the bag, which he deploys 3 of them right now. That Expo is being tanked, and they are going to take out that Expo there. He's still got 2 hogs in the bag, and then he's going to sprinkle those there down as soon as that Wizard Tower is being tanked. Inferno Tower did finally go down to the Barbarian King there, and he's going to kind of work his way through the rest of the base. So again, not the cleanest attack in the world, but it did get the job done. It was a fresh hit, so he didn't know obviously where anything was, and he's going to nail a triple for us. And that was the base that we really wanted to go down. We really wanted to focus our Town Hall 10 game on how do we get the 71st star, just in case they were able to also nail a triple. So we're going to watch me last because I did not go in on that base fresh. Let's go watch who went in on 5 first. First person in on 5 was Sean. Let's go ahead and watch his replay and how he goes ahead and secures the 2-star here. So he's going to go in here with a 25 minion and then a Valk Town Hall dive, excuse me. So we're going to kind of 4x this one here. As you see the minions kind of working their way on the outside of the base, grabbing a bunch of free percentage here. Benefit to this was that Damasta and I were able to use this replay to determine where our minions were going to be able to be dropped safely. And then obviously Sean just goes ahead and drops the Valkyries in there. They're going to run their way through that Town Hall, secured the 2-star, and at this point he's just going for extra percentage. So really, really nice attack there by Sean. As you see, lots of compartments still open. So many pieces of defense up that even though it's a 73%, wasn't necessarily one that I could go in with 40-40 and be reasonably certain to grab the 3-star. And so that's why you'll see me a little bit later do something a little bit different. All right, so we're going to work our way. I don't think Sean hit that one first either. He did not. The first person to hit 4 was Bravs, who went ahead and secured that 2-star. You're going to see Bravs here do a little bit of the same thing with the mask minions. And then he's also going to take out the golem that is in the CC. Obviously, a little bit of a fresh hit. He's going to go ahead and use a couple of balloons there to take out that archer tower. And then a few hogs to grab the pull. And then he's going to go ahead and start dragging this golem and loon over here. Goes ahead and drops 2 minions on the golem. But he did drop the 2 minions at 142, and then he drops 2 more minions at 127. So a little bit of indecisiveness trying to get that golem down. That extra 15 seconds could have easily gotten those golemites down before he went ahead and dropped his Valkyries in there. But he's going to just do, once again, straight Town Hall dive. Nothing fancy, not really going for 3. Just sort of trying to expose traps, get the CC information. And he's going to go ahead and grab a 60% there on the base, and that's going to secure the easy 2-star. So moving on to base 3, Todd. This was a fresh hit, and I believe this was the only time that we hit this base a few other times with air. So Todd, once again, just going in, trying to secure the 2-star. He's going to start his AQ walk down there at 9 o'clock, and then use a early rage spell there as she was under fire by quite a bit. Hog goes in, grabs the pull, which was 15 archers and a dragon. A little bit of a weird pathing there by the queen. Kind of walks all the way around to the 6 o'clock compartment. He does go ahead and send in the Valkyries here from 4, which is going to keep his queen alive, and that's going to be very important because now she's almost back to full health, and she's going to be able to snipe down that Town Hall. So nice heads-up play there by Todd by keeping his queen alive. She's ultimately going to be able to get in there and go ahead and snipe a few Teslas before she goes down. And then 66% there for Todd. I think he gets to 67 before the raid ends. And that was the 2-star that we secured on base 3. All right, so Damasta did not hit base 2 first. First person hit base 2 was Glowtech with his first attack. So I'm going to go ahead and give this one a quick watch here. And then, like I said, we're going to do all of the attacks that came after the other 6 attacks, and how they came up just a little bit short of our hope of getting another 3-star here. So Glowtech just kind of doing a little bit of a Town Hall dive, nothing super fancy, double jump to kind of get himself over to the other compartment. CC Baby Drag doing absolute work. Finally, the level 40 Queen takes it out, and he is going to go ahead and wrap up this raid with a 62% 2-star. So this kind of follows our Town Hall 10 philosophy of we're really just trying to make sure that all the Town Hall 10s get 2-starred. Base 6 was the only one that I kind of gave permission for guys to design a 3-star attack for, and Glowtech obviously got it on the first attack, so that was awesome. Brav's in here going in with a dragon attack. Just a perfect base for it. Nice kind of big square box base, and he is going to go ahead and punch through. Boom, there's the first star right there. Hasn't even deployed his heroes yet. He's going to kind of work his way, ground expos the whole way through, and already has the 2-star secure by the time he drops his heroes, but he is going to be able to grab an extra about 13-14% with those heroes. And then finally, he's going to finish the raid at 77%. So really, really nice job there by Bravs. Very, very high percentage on their number 1, which was awesome. So those were the 6 attacks that either got the 3-star or secured at least the 2-star. And so I think this is a good point to talk about Town Hall 10 game from this point on. So at the point that we knew that we didn't have to send any Town Hall 9 dips or Town Hall 10 dips down on Town Hall 9s, there was about 3 hours left in war. Unfortunately, well, I guess I shouldn't say unfortunately, but war was basically over by this point. There was no way that 3-Point Park could have made a comeback, so there was a little bit of talk in the Town Hall 10 room about just kind of YOLOing some attacks and not really planning for them and just kind of throwing out some half-ass plans, basically. I think that given that, arranged wars are going to be these things that we do every week, probably good to skip the YOLO portion and really try and build off of some replay. Now, all the ones that I just showed were examples of raids that unfortunately we couldn't build off of. We had to use the information that we had to build new plans. So just a little bit of a piece of, I guess, advice there for us in future wars. Maybe, those of us that have an attack left, Todd, Sean, Damasta, and myself, we could all jump in a room and try and figure out like which base is it that we're all going to hit and try and improve on. So I think you see that with me doing that to Damasta a little bit. So let me go ahead and show Todd's YOLO. So Todd went ahead and did a Laloon on this base right here. I think the plan was to start his queen to get this air defense and then have her walk in over here. So we'll kind of see what we're wrong here. So goes ahead, drops his queen there around 6. She's going to step up, grab that air defense, and then she's going to walk the exact way that he wants her to. And so right now it looks pretty good. Has those baby dragons there for funnel. King goes in, pops his queen's ability. Second air defense does go down, but unfortunately their rage spell just a fraction of a second too late. Is not going to be able to save his queen there, and then he has to start the Laloon portion. The reason why he went at this base was because all the expos were on ground. So really, really nice attack. It was definitely an attack that I considered replicating as well. There were just a few extra defenses that I didn't like that were up there. The Inferno Tower never went down. I wasn't sure if the Queen was going to kind of get that because it's indented 4 spots in, which is a little annoying, obviously. So obviously the Loons have to in some way take out that air defense, and I wasn't feeling too confident about that. So let's go ahead and watch Shawnee Boy's second hit here. He went in on base 4 as well with his little YOLO, but he did it with AQ Walk Go Vaho here. So I'm going to go ahead and speed through this attack as well and see what could have been done a little bit better. So he's got no knowledge of where the air bombs are because that was not one of the mass minion attacks that we saw. This was, I think this was the dragon. No, this is not the dragon one. Either way, he's going to do a little bit of a Town Hall dive here. He's going to have a free spell for the back Inferno Tower, but ultimately just going to run out of gas. There's just no way that he can kind of secure the 3-star here. All the Teslas are in the back end. So it was a good try there by Sean, but ultimately not quite going to do it to secure the 3-star. All right, so Damasta and I worked a little bit on, Damasta worked on 2 really, really good plans, and then I tried to come in and kind of duplicate them, and I unfortunately did not do my job. Just go ahead and watch this one. This is the one that Damasta unfortunately disconnected in. But what I liked about his plan was that there was a really, really solid entry to it. 3 minions down there to create a funnel. Wizard, go ahead and create a funnel as well. And then finally, he breaks into this compartment down here at around 7 o'clock. Rages up his heroes. Ultimately sacrifices king, basically. And then he's going to end up dropping out of connection right around here as he pops his AQ ability. But he is going to, right there, you see, get the second air defense. So what this basically showed me was this is what the AQ walk / charge portion was able to get, and then he had 3 lava hounds and 18 balloons for the rest of the base, kind of working from a clockwise direction here. 1 Inferno Tower, which was going to get a free spell. So I really, really liked the plan. I thought I would try and copy it. Unfortunately, I didn't do a very good job at copying it. So go ahead and watch that here real quick. This was my final attack of the war. Let's go ahead and watch my replay 2. And so you'll see here, I start off in a very similar way with the 3 minions. Going to create that funnel. Wizard's going to go down there to kind of create the last part of that funnel. And then ultimately, what's going to end up dooming me here is a little bit of a wall breaker fail. Those healers actually go onto the wizard. So mistake on my part there. I kind of buckled then on my wall breakers, and then boom, I don't quite make it into the wall. I drop my final wall breaker. That's not going to get me into the wall, and that's ultimately going to doom essentially the entire raid at that point. So that little motherfucking wizard who should have been dead did not die, and that caused my healers to go a little bit to the left or to the right. And then just everything kind of went downhill from there. I did eventually somehow figure out a way to salvage the raid. Unfortunately, it was so much time to get through this CC golem over here. I knew that I wanted my queen to eventually step up and take out the Tesla farm that I knew was in the town hall compartment. So as soon as the golem goes down there, I go ahead and start the Laloon portion. Had an extra rage spell because I never used it on the entry, and I do the best that I can to try and salvage the attack, but ultimately going to fall just a little bit short here on the backside. Certainly an attack that I wish I could have back. Damasta gave me such a nice blueprint on his little entry there, but a little bit of the mishap with the healers and just kind of buckled under that mistake. So it's going to happen. I think we're going to get base 2 and base 5 up for a little bit of friendly challenge action, and we're going to make those corrections. But let me go ahead and watch final attack here on base. I think I picked the wrong one. I think I'm just going to base 2 now. Yeah, that's one I just saw. So now we're going to go to base 2, which was another one where Damasta had a really, really nice blueprint, 93%. Unfortunately for him, the person behind him is absolutely god-awful with Laloon, and you will see that here shortly. So we're going to go speed through Damasta's raid here a little bit. Has nice minions down there for the funnel. AQ goes down to start her walk portion. And then watch this wall breaker game here by Damasta. It was pretty amazing. Boom, there goes one wall breaker. Boom, there's a second. 2 wall breakers open up the compartment. And then down here, the CC is going to split. He's going to forget his king's ability. And then ultimately, though, he is going to get through this compartment here, get all of that taken out. Inferno Tower there gets frozen, and then the balloons are going to take it out. Second free spell goes down there, not on an Inferno Tower, goes down on an X-Bow, an Air Defense, and an Archer Tower, but he is going to get just so close. He drops a jump spell there because that was obviously he was going to use that for his kill squad. He never actually ended up using it. But given the 93%, I kind of said, well, let me just do the same exact thing, but let me just bring a third free spell instead of the jump, and should be able to secure that triple. That was at least the logic that I brought. So a little bit awkward bringing a third free spell for the Air Defense and the Archer Tower, but when you have a replay, you try your best to use it. So this was the attack I felt a little bit more comfortable on. The wall breakers was what I was most nervous about, but I only need 4 to break in down here, and he did bring 8. So I had a few extra wall breakers, but we're going to go ahead and see here what goes wrong with this raid. Start my AQ walk just like he did. Drop my rage spell. I have to drop mine a little bit sooner than he did, and then as you can see here, the first one has no problem, but then they're going to lose their rage ability just a fraction of a second before they hit the wall. So I ended up having to use all of the extra wall breakers, so that's still fine because I still open up the wall with the same amount of with the wall breakers I needed. Unfortunately, drop a rage spell right there. I think it's going to keep my queen up, but there's just a little bit too much on her, and she ends up going down. So my mistake there. He did pop his ability before he dropped that rage spell. I just thought that I could cheat it if I got it down early enough, but an archer tower, a cannon, an expo, just a little bit too much, I guess, for what I had. I try and salvage it here at this point, but it's all over. But the crying at this point, and at this point I'm just trying to get paid so I can build my 3PP Springtrap, and I do indeed, just barely, because this baby dragon actually survives, starting to take out my minions. I just barely get to 50% before the raid concludes. So that was unfortunately my second attack. Really good job to Demaster. Put up two really solid blueprints for me. I just buckled at the at actually executing it. So happy to get bases 2 and 5 in our friendly challenge here. That was our Town Hall 10 game. I just wanted to give this short video to kind of highlight our Town Hall 10 action. So good key takeaways are, once we get everything secure and the Town Hall 9's tripled, to spend a little bit more time planning, make sure that we're building off an attack, trying to really secure that 71st or 72nd star that could ice the war. So really good job by our 10s, really high percentage, really proud of what we were able to do up on that game as well. And with tomorrow's video, we will do part 3, which we're going to cover bases 11, which took 6 hits, and 13, and kind of analyze what went right, what went wrong, and what we could do to make sure that we don't hit a base 6 times. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys tomorrow.